Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how that wonder not ye are. Above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how that wonder what you are.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to another episode of Safe Space for Men. I'm your host as usual. And before we get into it, please remember to rate, review, like, subscribe, download, and share the podcast. I truly, truly appreciate it. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Hopefully everything's been going well, with you guys. If you out here in Philly, you already know it's been cold as shit lately. The weather has been ridiculous. It's just now starting to warm up. We have been fighting for our lives in Philadelphia on the entire like East Coast, New York, Philly, Baltimore. Like it's been ridiculously cold over here. And I'm not a fan of the winter. I don't like to do anything in the wintertime. I'm a summer baby, so I only like warm weather. 70 degrees and up, please. Anything below that, it's really miserable. Like you can't do shit. Like it snowed. It was crazy. Um uh I haven't recorded in a while. And ironically, when I got home today, because I got out of work earlier, I was supposed to record. And of course, life happens. Picked up my daughter and I had just actually got back. I was on a little getaway over the weekend out on the Poconos, so I got back. So I still was like getting settled and getting my things together. And of course, Jordan hadn't seen me in a couple of days. So and my mom was like, I'll get off early, me and her hang out, we'll do whatever. And then one thing led to another. I came home, I started like folding clothes and, getting back in the routine doing laundry and because she's out of school for a couple of days, so I can get caught up on some like chores around the house. And next thing I know, it was like 7 o'clock. And the next thing I know, it was 8 o'clock. And it was like it's time for her to get ready for bed. And by the time I did all that, got her in bed, got her situated. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I'm like, I know I gotta work early in the morning. I gotta be to work at 7. And I was like, fuck it. I'll record another day or I'll record tomorrow at the work or whatever. And then I won't get too far in details. Something happened tonight, that kind of like woke me out of my sleep. And then I just can't go back to sleep. Maybe I'll share it one day, maybe I won't, but I probably won't. I really don't necessarily want to get into it, but I knew I wasn't gonna be able to sleep because it was something that's just heavy on my mind. And I was like, you know what? Let me get this episode out the way because the stuff has really pretty much been sitting on my computer as it always is for a while. Because I normally work on these for, you know, I put some time into it. But before we get into it, rest in peace, James Van Der Beek. If you don't know who James Van Der Beek is, then I don't know what planet you've been living on. But if everybody knows me, knows I'm like the biggest Dawson's Creek fan. Uh, Love that show. It's my favorite show of all time. Uh, Got me through a lot of stuff in high school, a lot of relatable stuff, and I thought it was like it's one of the greatest shows ever. If you've never seen it, you really need to watch it. I've tried to get my kids to watch it, but they think everything from my era is corny. But yeah, he died, man. He died last week, 48 years old. Just for me, just a special part of my childhood. Like I said, I had every season on DVD. Like, I mean, I was like really locked in. But yeah, he died from colorectal cancer, which I believe is like the equivalent to colon cancer. And he was doing a lot, to bring awareness to it. They actually did a reunion show back in September that I was so upset I can't get tickets to, but they were raising money for awareness, like for him and for awareness to the illness. And it's really about early detection, really getting that stuff, getting yourself checked out early. All men, everyone should be getting checked early. Even earlier if you have cancers that run in your family. But it was just really sad to see because it's just I don't know. The older I get, like I'll be 40 this year, and it's just like you start to see like people from your childhood are dying and stuff like that. And 48 is really fucking young, so it was just really sad. Like he has 6 children, I believe, and just a beautiful family. And you just kept seeing it all across the timeline, like you know that he was really beloved by a lot of people, and famous or not famous, like everyone. It was I saw it everywhere, man. And it's just again, it's rest in peace to him, man. It was really sad to see. Again, he's just I don't know. Like when I immediately when I saw it, I was like, I was hurt. Like I really like that was like a cousin or something. You know what I mean? Like it was really. If you have characters that you just enjoy or actors and stuff like that or whatever musicians, then I'm pretty sure you can relate. Um, what I want to talk about today is chivalry dead? You know what I mean? And because I feel like, and this idea popped in me. It all started because um, recently we got hit with snow. We got hit with all this fucking snow. And immediately it was just like, as soon as we got hit with all this snow, the women that didn't have people to clean off their cars, to dig out their cars, were just screaming that men ain't shit, men ain't shit. And I'm just like what? Like, you know what I mean? Like all year long, y'all been, independent, this, independent that. I don't need, this and that. And it's just like, but the minute we get a little bit of snow and whatever your relationship status or situation is, like it turns into the niggas ain't shit or men ain't shit, excuse me. But yeah, and it's like somehow, of course, it's men's fault that it snowed. Like, ooh, it's our fault that it snowed. It has nothing to do with Mother Nature or just whoever is responsible for the weather because it's not us. But yeah, women are online calling men out, man, and like I get it. Women feel like they should not be shoveling out their snow. You know what I'm saying? And they're saying like, oh well, men need to be men. It's your job to do this and do that. And I'm so sick of hearing it. I really am. I feel like like somehow this topic, man versus woman, keeps coming back up. And I'm really sick of it, but I have to speak on it because like I gotta stand up for the guys because a lot of times it just really doesn't have nothing to do with us. We really did nothing wrong. But I also feel like a lot of times women only want men to be men when it's convenient to them, when it's directly beneficial for them. So it's like, what? Prime example. I was at work and a young lady, not a young, well, yeah, she's around my age, but she was talking about how she had to take an Uber to work or something like that because her car was stuck. So I'm like, okay, what is it, sitting on ice and this and that. She's like, yeah. So I'm telling her like what she can do. I'm like, hey, you got salt. She's like, yeah. I'm like, take the salt and put it by your tires or whatever, like underneath your tires. I was like, next time before you pull into the park spot, just put a bunch of salt down. That way, when you park, you'll be able to, pull out. It works every time. And before I could finish like trying to tell her, she like cut me off like, oh, that's not my job. It's a man's job. Oh, excuse me. I get it. I really do. But you don't have a man. And that is the point. So, like, instead of being mad at men or mad at whatever, because you got neighbors that are men and stuff like that, like, you're still responsible for you. You get what I'm saying? It's like it's your car is your responsibility. Your sidewalk, if you own your house and you live alone, you don't have a man there or a son, it's your responsibility. Like you're still an adult. And I feel like a lot of times women, some will use these gender role things to get out of just being responsible, being adults. You know what I mean? And it was I don't know, it was really annoying. Like I just had to walk away from it because I was really like, sometimes I'd be ready to like trip out on people because like it was the way she said it. And I think like the next day she spoke to me because after that I just walked away. So I think she realized she was wrong. She never apologized. But some people again, they be too big to apologize. But again, it's just like how in the world does it snow and it's all men's fault that y'all don't have nobody to dig your cars out? Like how is that our fault? It's really not. Just take some accountability. Like really, make better decisions. You know what I mean? And then playing devil's advocate, I'm single. I'm a single dad. Um, Jordan needs her hair done. Like so, oh, that's not my job. That's a woman's job. And so I would just send her to school, and her hair will never be done. And she has to eat, but that's a woman's job to go in the kitchen to cook. So she's gonna be starving and hungry every day, and her hair is not done. And you know what I mean? Do I just say that because it's a woman's job? Like, absolutely fucking not. Nope, because I'm an adult and I'm the adult in the house and I have to manage my situation accordingly. You know what I mean? And if I said that, I would be sexist, right? Yeah, it's crazy. The double standards when it comes to certain things is incredible, man. Um, and frankly, it's really upsetting. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. So again, to be mad at the world or everyone with a dick because of a little snow and ice is insane, man. And it maybe was it was a lot of snow. I think we got like 13 inches of snow, and I get it, but it's like your situation is your situation. You get what I'm saying? That all this men aren't men anymore, and it's like no, you just don't have a man. That's it. That's the root of all your anger and your disgust is that you're single and you don't have a man and you don't have anybody to do life with in the current moment. So you got to navigate your life as is accordingly and just deal with it until you get a partner and you find love and you find someone to be with. Um, excuse me if I'm a little, I don't know, I might go a little off the rails. I'm a little because of what I got going on. I'm a little, I might be a little angry. Um, but yeah, man. Since we talking about the snow, like people that don't clean their fucking cars off, y'all some assholes. Like I was driving to work a couple days and just people like in their cars and snow's just flying off the car. By now it's frozen. So it's like you're like swerving out the way of like these big bricks of ice. And you know who these people behind these wheels were? They were women. I did not see one man driving his car and the snow was on his car. No, it's all women. So not only are y'all lazy and not doing what you're supposed to do and you're taking it out on men, now you're making driving a dangerous game. It's not safe. It's not safe. It's really not a safe space out there. No pun intended. Um, and also, why the fuck we still dealing with snow almost 3 weeks after it fucking snowed? Like the snow just now, like I would say over the last 2 days, the snow is beginning to melt because of the weather's gotten better. But just this past weekend, they just fucking came to my block on my block, and I live on a block that a bus goes down. Where we had like mountains of snow at the bottom. They just now came to remove that, and they're still like removing snow out the neighborhoods. What the fuck is going on? I looked it up. The blizzard of '96, and if you're old enough, you remember we got like something like 30 some odd inches of snow. They had that shit cleaned up in 3 days. We got 30% of that, and it's fucking day 18 or whatever of the fucking snow cleanup in Philadelphia, PA. What the fuck is going on? What is going on, Raggedy Wiz Mayor? Whoever's responsible for this, I don't know. PennDOT, whatever. That was another thing. They did a terrible job the day of the snow and the days after the snow of ice in the roads. I mean, of not ice, of salt in the roads. It was fucking slippery out there. And I got 4-wheel drive. Like, I got an SUV, and it's, yeah. It was slip and slide records. Thank God I made it home to work and home and back. But yeah, it's been crazy, man. But yeah, then obviously it's been cold as shit. So after we got all that snow, it froze the fuck up. So now it's ice everywhere. It's fucking dangerous. Man, it's been crazy. Speaking of, oh my gosh, like what else has been going on in the city? Pico. I remember I came home one day. I'm about to jump all over the place. Fucking Pico. Came home and a transformer head blew out on my block. Now that's happened before, but it blew out like 4 o'clock. I was getting home at like 10 o'clock. In my mind, when I get home, that's just gonna be back on. I come in the house, there's no power. All right, well, unfortunately enough, I guess I grew up poor. I've been in the house without heat and stuff because my whole house runs off electric now. Um, me and Jerome, we can get some quotes and we can navigate the night. It's not that bad. It's cold outside, but it's we can make it work. I lit some candles, like we can get around. As I'm coming in the house, oh, hold on, back to Pico. They didn't get the power back on till I think 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And it was crazy because I was sitting in the car and the worker walked up to me. He was like, "You live here?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You better prepare for a long night." I was like, "Motherfucker, what?" He's like, "Yeah, we gotta like it's like 150 customers without power. We gotta put this transformer on and then test run it, and then we only can turn on one house at a time." I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, what is going on?" But yeah, so I come in the house. As soon as I open the door, all I hear is all this fucking water, like coming from somewhere. So now I'm like, what the fuck? It's dark, and then there's water coming from somewhere. I go into my laundry room, and there's all this water just shooting from the ceiling. And immediately, because I just got my roof replaced like maybe 2-3 years ago, something like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna fuck the roofer up, and I'd be ready to crash out. Um, After I got myself together, I went upstairs and realized that the pipe to the radiator, because radiators have water going into them, that had somehow busted, and there was just water shooting all over the back room floor. It was like a fucking river, and I'm just like I ain't gonna lie, I was so defeated. Like I stood there and like you know how something's so bad, you just like the situation is so shitty and you want to cry. It's like I was just like I was just done. So long story short, I got all that stuff repaired and thank God we got through the night and everything. But it was just like one thing after another. Like I ain't gonna lie, I was that week I was having a really shitty um fucking week. But back to it being unbearably cold. What is with you people that are choosing to walk across the river? I get the river is frozen, but and we know what people are doing it. It ain't us. Uh but they're walking across the river. And even worse, you guys are walking across this river with your children. And even worse on top of that, after like city officials and like the fire department and police department and people are coming out saying like don't do that, you know what I mean, like it's not safe, and these motherfuckers are just nope, we're just gonna take our like what that again, it's not us, there's only one demographic doing that. And I mean that in a serious but hilarious way. um Something I did want to talk about today, and I've really been trying to stay away from politics because you know it's always like it's always a topic that just brings out the worst in people. um and one of the reasons I've been staying away from because people a lot of people are entirely too invested and get way too mad when it comes um to political beliefs or when they don't align with your folks, your family, your friends, and things of that nature. And like folks are literally allowing politics to ruin relationships, friendships, their family situations, and it's insane. It's like I find it ironic that like that's where y'all draw the line is the political affiliation. But you won't check your homie for being a deadbeat dad. You won't check your homie for being a horrible husband and cheating on his wife. You won't check your girlfriend for being a deadbeat mom. You won't check her for having a child with a man and it not being his and she waiting 13 years. You won't check your homies and people in your family that are murderers and drug dealers and destroying our communities. But y'all draw the line at political affiliation. I do not fucking understand it. It makes absolutely um, no sense. But I have been paying attention to what's going on or what was going on in Minnesota. To be clear, I don't agree with what's going on. I think it's absolute chaos. It's pandemonium. It's ridiculous. But what I do know is this doesn't involve black people, and I don't mean that in an ignorant way. It's just like I haven't seen any black people getting thrown in the cars. Any like I I'm very much about I'm for what's right, but I'm also I understand the situation and I know when we need to mind our fucking business. And when I say that the same way that there were people minding their business when George Floyd got killed, when Trayvon Martin got killed, when other people in our community were getting killed by police in the street, arrested unlawfully, all those kinds of things. And I'm not saying that one or the other is right, but what I'm saying is um, that if it, I think that's the problem a lot of times in our communities. Black people, we're so like we're willing to like get involved in shit that has nothing to do with us. Um, do I believe it's right that they're just walking up and throwing people that just look because they don't speak English or they're assuming that they're not citizens and into vans and cars and taking them away? No, that's not right. There's a better way to do it. But what I do also understand is that ICE is law enforcement. Like that, I do understand fully. And even if I believe I should not have to show you my ID, if ICE pulled me over, I could walk around my passport. I would show them my passport card. Like, and I don't even, you know what I mean. I'm a citizen, but I just think I think everyone's. And again, I'm not. I haven't been in that situation, so I don't want to be ignorant and offend anybody that wasn't has been in that situation because again, it's a very wild time right now. But I know for me, my goal anytime I get pulled over by the police or anybody in law enforcement is going to be to get home to my children. Like that's my goal. That's my responsibility. That's my obligation to get home to my family. So if me showing you my ID or two forms of ID is what is going to get me home, that's what I'm going to do. I understand other people are like, nope, fuck that. I ain't doing that. Okay, that's your choice. But you have to understand what may come along with that. No matter how unlawful it is, how wrong it is, that's the climate right now. And until there's some legislation or there's some pushback or there's someone that steps in and says, "Hey, you can't do that," there is literally nothing you can fucking do about it. You know what I mean? And again, nobody deserves to die. Nobody should be getting thrown into, um, you know, ice vans and stuff just because on the assumption that they are not American or they're not American citizens. But for the people that aren't citizens or they're like rapists and murderers and molesters and all that stuff and doing child sex trafficking shit, yeah, get those motherfuckers out of here. I don't give a fuck what you are. I don't care if they're black. Get them the fuck out of here. I don't care if you're purple, orange. Yeah, you gotta go. Like if you're doing that type of shit, yeah, you gotta go. Um, but it's been crazy. The country is in fucking shambles right now, and it just a lot of people like because we just had the Bad Bunny halftime show. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. And you, first of all, people, I don't know. I feel like I'm very aware. So people that are racist that I may know that are racist, or whether that's from I've known them in the past, or I just know them like high school, middle school, elementary school. Like people that are racist, I knew they were racist before the Bad Bunny halftime show, before Biden was president, before Trump was president. I probably knew when Obama became president. You get what I'm saying? So like I'm very aware, but like, all these people are just like, oh my god, like I didn't know. Like you knew. First of all, you know how people feel um about things like that because whether they say it or not, they're going to show you with how with action. But yeah, the Bad Bunny halftime show had, of course, had yeah, everyone. I seen everyone arguing about this shit, and for me, honestly, I didn't care for it because that's not the genre of music I listen to. However, I do believe only good can come from this. Only good can come from giving opportunities to people of other cultures to show the world their culture, their music. You get what I'm saying? I think it's no different than like food. You know what I'm saying? I think everyone deserves the opportunity to be on the biggest musical stage spectacle, you know, that there is of the year. Um, I also think he's being used as a pawn by the NFL, but that's kind of like a different story because the NFL's like it seems like they're on this like campaign to like be like fuck you Trump and whatever. That's it ain't my organization. I don't think it's ever smart to do that to any commander in chief. I don't care what political party that he's in. I just don't think that that's always that's a wise decision. But it's like online you see black and brown people doing the most arguing amongst each other about this, and it like and again it was another situation where we were getting drug into, and it was just like I mean like I'm idle. I don't have like I'm glad he got the opportunity to do it. He's an outstanding artist. A lot of my friends love him. Jordan knew all his songs because the sitter plays a lot of Spanish music in the house. So like, you know what I mean? Like Jordan was in here and she was jam. She knew the songs, like well, like 80% of them. So it's not that, but it's like you have people online like us, Puerto Ricans, Hispanics, blacks. Like they're well, that's what I saw online. Those groups going back at each other, and I think that's also like the point. They want us to go against one another. You know what I mean? And I did see like his message is about unity and you know just love, spread love, not hate, which is a wonderful message. Obviously, who would not be a fan of that? But we also gotta really understand like that's what they want. They want us to go at one another. They want us fighting and killing each other. You know what I mean? So that they can become the dominant race again or the dominant whatever again. And I don't know. I just feel like if it's for you, it's for you. And if it's not, when it came on, watch something else. You get what I'm saying? Go in the kitchen and do the dishes. Go whatever, make some food. Go do something else. Go take a bathroom break. Um, and that's it. And I understand that some people are like, oh, I couldn't understand what he was saying. I get that too. Um, but I believe you could have put the closed captions on, and I think it would convert it to English, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But just don't be ignorant. Don't be ignorant, man. You got people that are just like, oh, you know, like when did Puerto Rico not become a U.S. territory? Like I understand they're not a state, but when the fuck? Like as long as I've been alive, they've been a U.S. territory, and again, it's just like don't be ignorant, don't be stupid. Um, just again, if you're not a fan of his music or that type of music in general, or music that you don't understand, okay, cool, but just not let's not be rude, let's not be ignorant, let's not be disrespectful. to other people's cultures when we, because when it's us, we are, oh my god, you know what I'm saying, like we are quick to defend our music and our culture, things as we should, but you have to show that same respect, you know what I mean, when it comes to other people. So like I said, I just feel like the bigger point, he was able to deliver a message, which I thought was great. Well, now, even though I believe like it's never going to happen, we're never going to have like 100% unity, 100% like, no racism and stuff like that. It's always going to be something. Um, but we can do a better job collectively as a whole, as a nation, as a human race. Just do a better job of just loving each other and being more peaceful. I don't think I'll ever see it in my lifetime though. Um, I want to jump back to chivalry because, and more so as it relates to like the relations between men and women, and um, give my take, my perspective. I do think the disconnect or the root of it all of like chivalry kind of like being dead or is not what it used to be. It does have to do with healing and people going through things and felt relationships. You know what I'm saying? As I get older, I just have a better understanding. I'll be 40 this year, so you can imagine the amount of people that I've dated and been with, and relationships and stuff I've been in. Obviously, none of them have worked out. So, like over time, you do. I mean, you do tend to approach every situation differently. Maybe not as aggressively. Like, and then when you do get back to that place where you feel like, all right, I'm good and I can really show up, and that shit doesn't work out, and you know what, the next fucking five people are gonna get not the best version of me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a domino effect. And I'm not saying it's right, but I do think that's part of it. Like I'm less inclined to like, um, be as chivalrous. If I'm just if the last person I was with broke my heart, you know what I'm saying? Hurt my feelings, used me, anything like that. Um, and it's the same with a woman. You know what I'm saying? If a woman is heartbroken, then she's gonna make the next man jump through hoops, especially because women are way more emotional than us. Even though we are emotional, but women are way more emotional. They are way more in their feelings than men. So yeah, it is. I've dated women before where it's been really hard to like get close to them because they are so like they are trying to heal or they haven't healed or they just their guard is up. And you know what I mean? And our guards be up too. You know what I'm saying? A woman, she's not gonna show her domestication from the rip. She's not. She's not gonna show you that she knows how to fold clothes or she can clean a house or that she can cook food from the rip. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna let you in. Because a lot of times it's human nature to not, or at least have a fear of getting too comfortable with a person because the fear of that they're going to leave or the fear of that it's not going to work out. You know what I mean? We all have. I have that. You know what I mean? I'm just being out transparent. Like I definitely have a fear of like really letting a woman in and then the shit don't work out again for the 1,000th time. Like what? And then you go on 2 weeks and you just like fuck bitches. Like it's just like, and honestly, I take that back. At this age, I'm not at that. At this age, I would honestly say like I'm in a space where like when something doesn't work out, I'm just kind of like wow, you know what I mean? It's just like all right. And it becomes a day at a time thing. As we're before in my 20s, I would I would move a little different. I would move quickly to the next person. You know what I'm saying? Even in my early 30s, I would move quickly to the next person or quick to entertain something new. Now at this age, if something doesn't work out, I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna just fucking go to work and spend time with my kids and work on my podcast and read some books. That's what I'm gonna do. Because you is I don't know. I think there's also maturity levels. When it comes to things like that. But yeah, man has been used by a woman. You know what I mean? Is less inclined, really to really allow her in his space. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm speaking directly, as a man. You know what I mean? That has dealt with these types of things. Um, and but at the end of the day, we all have, like I said, have a fear of getting hurt. And I don't have solutions and answers. All I can say is, we're all human. We're all going through stuff. We're all healing. We're all healing from stuff. And healing really is a continuous thing. Like healing really is like day by day. It's daily work. It's forever. Like I think there are certain things where like you have triggers that are just forever. You get what I'm saying? Like I think that because you can heal from a situation, but I still think like triggers are always going to be there. You know what I mean? Like I don't think you can heal from everything. I just don't. And this is a person that's been to therapy. I've went through therapy. I don't think that's one of the things I learned. Like you can't, because everything isn't meant to be fixed. Sometimes things are there to keep you alert and aware, to kind of keep you on your toes. Uh, and you know, it's like also like while you're trying to heal, you're trying to let your guard down while trying to open up your heart, while trying to get to know a person. Like you're doing all these things simultaneously at once, and um then there's so many trash human beings out there, like men and women. You know what I'm saying? It's on both sides. That's another double standard. I hate how like there's such an emphasis on how like niggas ain't shit, and it's like, wait a minute, y'all, slow down, cause some of y'all ain't shit either. You know what I mean? Like some of y'all are really horrible people. You know what I'm saying? Or you do horrible things. I know a lot of nice people that have done horrible things to me. You know what I'm saying? Or to my friends and or people in general. So, and it's like, um, I don't know. My advice would probably just be like, uh, be gentle, be patient, but not stupid. And don't forget to pray for discernment. You know what I mean? And pray in general. Like that's one thing that I'm really getting better at. I pray daily now. It's on my accountability tracker. Shout out to Docinco. And I just, even the days I miss for that reason, I pray extra hard the next day. But I feel like I'm constantly in conversation with God anyway throughout my day. When I'm on my way to work, I'm in the car. Like I'm constantly, because there are things that I'm working on. I just have conversations with him. You know what I'm saying? Like you can talk to God as wherever or whenever you want. It doesn't have to be in the morning or at night or in the afternoon. You can talk to God whenever. You can talk to God in your head. I could talk to God, when I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I just think that, and that's what works for me. Like I say, what works for me may not work for you. But I think everyone wants to ultimately be in something heavy. I mean, heavy. I think ultimately everybody wants to be in something healthy. Ultimately, everybody wants to be in something healthy, but it is hell getting there. It really is, man. It's so much work. Like, that's another thing I'm like realizing. Like, as I get older, like relationships are every situation is different. Um, but they are so complicated. And I think some of it is us, like, be overcomplicated. We overthink, and it's just. I know for me, when I actually genuinely like someone, like I draw a blank on what to do with them, where to go, and stuff like that. But someone that I just probably have um very little interest in or don't see anything, like it'd be like, oh, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's I think I'm gonna be very transparent. There's less pressure on me to impress that person because I'm mentally I don't I don't care if it lasts or not. You get what I'm saying? And that probably sounds fucked up, but I'm just being honest. Y'all know I don't lie on here, or in general. Um, Before I got out of here, I just want to say, I genuinely appreciate any and everyone who supports me, or supports the podcast, or supports anything that I do, supports if I have something for my kids, it supports me in general, whether it's with a repost or a stream or sending my podcast to another person, sharing it, letting your families and your friends know about it. So just thank you. And I say that because it's crazy because it this always something like this always happens when I'm like having like a bum week or just in a space where I'm always second guessing myself about doing like potting and recording and stuff like that. Like, am I wasting my time? And I ran into a friend of mine's, Edgar. I was coming out of Target. Um, Edgar, he listens to the show. He listens to the podcast. We went to high school together. Great guy. Oh, it's crazy. He's another person that like he hasn't aged a bit. He literally feels like he's the same person as he was in high school. Like when he speaks, like it's just it's in his character, it's who he is. But I ran into him and he was telling me he's like, this is my podcast is one of his favorite podcasts, and I was like, one that really hit me in the feels because like I really appreciate people that I know and my friends that like support me. Like that really means the world to me. But two, it just also reinforces and reminds me to keep going, keep pushing out content, keep recording, keep um, sharing my journey, my mental health journey, my fatherhood journey, everything um, with you guys because I don't know. It's I guess it's like a body of work. I don't know. I don't know how long I'll do this podcast, but I would imagine if I had a podcast for like 10 years or 20 years, like you'd be able to watch and see how my life developed and my children and stuff like that, and like even now when Jordan pops in and out, she's a kid, but at some point she's gonna be the teenager walking in the door. It's oh again, I just really appreciate you guys, and I just wanted to say thank you, man. My message of the day is honestly just be grateful for life, for freedom, for fucking air, for your family, and for everything. Just really be grateful. I think a lot of times we get so sidetracked by everything that's going on and everything we're dealing with, whether it's your wife or your husband or you got sick parents and or you're going through something with your siblings or you're going through things with your kids or the person you got kids with or you hate your job or your job isn't paying you enough money, you know what I mean, or whatever, like whatever you got going on. I think we get so caught up in like because every we all have problems, but like a lot of times we give too much power or too much light to the issues we got going on in life, and then we forget about all the good. You know what I mean? And I was like that a while back. In the last year, I was really in a like a depressed state where I just had a lot of stuff going on. And I was really focusing on all the bad shit, all the things, and like the things I was struggling with, and the things that I was trying to just get together in my life. And I had to like, it was after that conversation I had with Lewis, my best friend, and it put everything into perspective. It was like, and that's what I love about him because he's like the I guess he's more like the cynic. He's just like every it's black and white. Like dude, like everybody's going through stuff. That's what it is. You're not a bad dad. You're not a bad person. You only can do what you can do, and that's the truth. We only can do what we can do. Anything that you can't handle today or in this hour, it's just like let it be. You know what I'm saying? You'll get to it when you get to it. But um, bad shit doesn't last forever. You know what I mean? It's not forever. Suffering isn't forever. Problems and stresses and troubles aren't forever. So yeah, that's my message today. Just be grateful, and I'm super grateful. I'm super grateful for everything. Um, it's not easy every day, but we get it done. So I'm about to get out of here because I'm pretty sure I gotta get ready for work really soon. So as usual, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching, and until next time, peace.